It's Monday morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and very warm welcome to Ask the Accountant live show. I'm one of your hosts, Aaron Patrick, and hello and welcome to Ask the Accountant, part of the Ask the Accountant Network, a podcast network for accountants, bookkeepers, supported by our Patreon community. Speaking of which, we start each and every show with a shout out to our coolest of cool listeners, who are Paul Whitehouse, Coast St. John, Mahul, and Peter Richardson. It's episode number 188. The date is the 8th of June, 2026. And to show your support to our channel and content, we're also getting some bonus content. In fact, I'm going to skip that, but there's a reason I'm going to skip that. Let's first of all go to co-host Mr. Johann Gorey. Mr. Johann Gorey, how was your week?
Yeah, I had a good week. It was a busy week. Lots and lots going on. I mean, if you want full details, refer to the vlog on YouTube. My daily vlog update. That's a nice little plug there. Thank you, Aaron. I mean, we'll come on to the ICB event, but that was a highlight of the week. Actually, it's left me asking more questions. So it's essentially solved, but we'll come on to that. And then, I spent the weekend. I spent Saturday ripping even more decking parts out and putting a huge order of various different wooden parts together to be delivered this week, so I can reinstall all the banisters and stuff to the decking. Next weekend, don't get wooden decking, people. Just a constant, you're just hunting rot constantly and then ripping it out and replacing it. And then I went and looked at composite, thinking, pay for it once and you're done. No, that would need a whole new mortgage. That's how expensive composite is. So I'll continue with my annual refitting of various rotten parts.
But without decking, how are you going to safely get in and out of your hot tub?
Well, that's why I've got to keep replacing the decking. So
it's a hard life, isn't it?
It is a hard life. Yeah, you've got to get your priorities right. It was been a good week. Got lots of productivity done in the firm last week. Lots of moving forwards with sales and onboarding and stuff like that. So yeah, all good. How was your week?
Yeah, again, we'll talk about ICB later, but that was a good week, or good part of the week for me. Two major things for me. First one was I missed the Monaco Grand Prix, so I'm still upset about that.
Whoever organises your diary has got their priorities completely wrong.
Somebody said they did it on purpose.
If it's purpose, that's gross misconduct and dismissible, in my view. But let's just say they accidentally cocked up on the priority, shall we?
Yeah. So instead of that, I was at a yoga event. Yeah, I was.
You strike me as the yoga type.
I was networking. So I went to a networking event 3 months ago, and this lovely lady came up to me and was like, "Oh, we're looking for an accountant to come to do a talk about MTD." And I was like, "Well, I'm certainly going to be happy to talk to your community about MTD, no problem." And then transpired that it was a yoga event involving all sorts of yoganess and everything there is. Thoroughly enjoyed it, actually. Really, really good fun. Didn't expect me to say that, but it was. And it was just interesting to see quite a active community who seem to be like always looking after one another. They're all talking about XYZ. They always seem to be on top of this trend and that trend, and like just listening to their conversations while I was like, in the room with them and stuff. They're always like on the ball and everything else. And then when I kind of started talking about this whole MTD malark, every one of their jaws just dropped to the floor. As in, wait, what's this all about? So it really just goes to show that there's still this big section of the self-employed community that just don't know about this, right, and don't understand it. And it transpired that two of them probably going to need to make a submission by the 7th of August. They had absolutely no idea. And they were represented by accountants as well, which is a little bit scary, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, isn't it? But yeah, so I had that event. Very, it's part of being I'm sure you're going to find this as well. It's part of being in a physical location again. Like, because we're in this physical location and there's a community around and everything else, you kind of got to be more involved. It's like when I went to the children's, the school talk and stuff like that. Like these sort of events, you just got to kind of take it with a pinch of salt, haven't you? Now that we've got our physical presence going forward. So that was good fun. And then a little acquisition. I had the honor of being able to take over Roz's Hodson's BCAM's Academy is what her company was called. And I got the opportunity to take over her bookkeeping business, and there was not a chance I was going to let that one slip. She's like, to me, probably the best trainer in the UK. I would say, like up there. And her bookkeeping knowledge, her bookkeeping skills, her bookkeeping controls and everything else are just absolutely out of this world. So much so, I have now got a whole new appreciation of what Engager looks like, because she literally went through.
You've been using it wrong for years.
But I generally haven't. I generally have got it nailed. But then there's levels to this game, right? And it's just a thing of beauty. It just generally is. Like, every aspect of it is all laid out. Controls and everything else that goes into place, and systems and processes and all that sort of stuff that comes with it. She's got some amazing clients. She's got some amazing staff. And we now have a dedicated bookkeeping solution in the group, which I'm really excited about. Like, I've not been able to say that ever, really. It's always been really compliance bookkeeping more than anything else that we've been doing. We've dabbled kind of a few kind of bigger bookkeeping clients in the past, but never really had the resource to properly do it. And now we have a proper bookkeeping resource arm that, some really, really exciting elements coming through. So yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it, how these things come along? And then you have to act fast, as you already know. And we've been able to get over the line, and couldn't be happier to have a proper bookkeeping part of the arm. And then ironically, we went to ICB to celebrate their 30th, so we'll obviously bring that into the conversation very, very soon. Speaking of conversation, these conversations will be pointless if we didn't have our amazing community stood by us at all times. Sorry, before I go into there, we have a public service announcement. The public service announcement is all about our Patreon community and our Patreon elements to it. For reasons we can't go into now, there we are, leave you on a bit of a tender hook there as to why. What legal ramifications?
I thought we weren't going to talk about this, but
what legal ramifications have we got ourselves into? For reasons we can't get into now, we are going to pause our Patreon going forward for a set number of time. It may be a month, maybe 2 months, 3 months, whatever. We just need to get our shit back in order, get some sort of stuff sorted out. So the way that's going to work is, if you're already a Patreon member, then you're going to continue to be a Patreon member just without having to continue to pay us. We're going to pause the billing. That'll keep going for a set number of months, and then we'll figure out what goes on from there. So more than anything, it's just so you're aware that if you get some weird emails from Patreon, that's exactly why. You can still sign up to Patreon, but there wouldn't be much use because it'll be completely free of charge, and we're not going to be putting as regular amount of content as we have done in the past. So yes, there we are. Any points you want to add to that, Johann?
No, as always, guys, we'll disclose why this is happening and stuff and what's going on as soon as we can, but we just need to respect certain deadlines and certain boundaries that have been set for us. So as soon as we can be open and honest, and I'm sure you'll all understand once we tell you why we've had to do it. So just we're being as open and transparent as we can be without upsetting.
And we just want to make sure people are aware, that's why you're going to get these weird emails, right? And nothing to worry about. No major changes. Content's still coming your way. Everything's still going to be coming as normal-ish going forward. It's just that, there'll be a couple of changes that we will handle appropriately. Speaking of changes handling appropriately, let's go to our community and talk about who's here live. Now, we've got Cheryl, CPS Bookkeeping, saying, good morning, dull, dark and rainy here in South Yorkshire. Johann, weather report, please.
blue skies, some cloud, but very bright. Could be a very nice day in Edinburgh.
How? I can't see the sky. It looks like it's been apocalyptic from where I'm sitting, and there is rain after rain after rain coming our way. So, how? What's going on? If anyone can figure it out, like, do let us know. We need to get a geologist. Is that right? Have I got that? Have I butchered that? No.
Metallurgist.
Metallurgist. What's a geologist?
That's geography. That's what type of stone's that?
No, that's not colouring in. That's all I remember from geography. Kirsty St. John says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you too, Kirsty. Hope you are doing well. Paul Whitehouse says, good morning, chaps. Good morning to you. Paul Mahul says, good morning, everyone from London. Oh, you know what? The nice thing is, most of our what do you call it? Our high level patrons people are here anyway, so they got to hear straight away. That's good to know. Any questions? Put them in the chat box. Kate M. Wright says, good morning to you. Paul Ingram at ABS says, good morning, all from rainy South. Good morning from rainy Salisbury. 3 attempts. We got that, Paul. Well done. We're all with you. Proud of you. Everyone had a great week. I hope everyone had a great weekend, says Mahold. I hope you did too. Suzanne C. Sue bookkeeping. It always gets me. It's a real tongue twister, that one. Morning from a wet and soggy Henley. See, everyone's complaining about the weather apart from you, Jan. There's something not right.
I'll be on a train coming into the nasty weather like in the next hour.
I imagine it will just change. Like it'll follow you all the way down this halo of good light.
You hope.
Sue Green M3E says, morning from the Netherlands. Oh, do tell us more. What's going on in the Netherlands? Yeah, a holiday, work. Do tell us more. So, loving the new pipeline engager, says Sue Green M3E. Yeah, I think you've got a lot of people really happy about the pipeline element.
Well. It has gone really well. Yeah, no, we're really happy with it. I mean, I put a post out on Friday on LinkedIn about how well it's going in my firm and the fact that it's genuinely changed in 2 weeks. It's genuinely put a focus on sales, revenue opportunities, and holding each other accountable for that in a way that I've been trying to do for 9 years. It turns out I just needed some visualization of that information.
Nice. Well, that's exactly what you need. Speaking of colour in, Amy, who's a hashtag audit Amy, who we like to joke around that just does colouring in by numbers as part of a job. Ask Si on that one on QuickBooks Labs. It says, morning. Speaking of QuickBooks Labs, it's our final episode of QuickBooks Labs tonight. So hopefully you do get to join us, but it does or potentially clashes with WWDC. So 6, 7. Is that, I don't know. Is that what the cool kids would say at that point? St. John says no rain but sun. But no sun. Steph says cloudy but no rain in Kent. And then Sue Green says riding bikes and eating cake in the Netherlands. Now that sounds like an enjoyable. What's the weather like for you, Sue? Is it good? Are we raining over in Netherlands? But yeah, sounds like a great long. Oh, geology is rocks, metallurgy is weather. Right. Thank you, Cheryl. So yeah, so I was, hey, every day's a school day. Every day's a school day. You know what I mean? Like we finally got that
past school, yeah.
So what we're saying is that geology is all about rocks, metallurgy.
Big Bang Theory taught us that.
I'm sure they did actually. Yeah. I need to go back and rewatch Big Bang going forward. Right, people. Let's talk about the big event of the week, which was the ICB turning 30 event. And what an event it was. I'm sure a lot of people who were in the chat was there as well. They can all say how well organized it was, how well attended it was, all that sort of stuff. So anyone who didn't see it on socials, ICB invited us down to London to the Standard Hotel, which is a hotel we really like. I've got a story on that's not really right for this channel, maybe for the final or for the next bonus show that we'll go into it. But yes, I'm sure you remember what story that is, Jan. But yeah, we do like the Standard Hotel. And the ICB team invited us down. had a little chin wag, had a little opportunity to kind of network, all that sort of great stuff when you have an event like that. And there was some nice food, some nice drinks, all that sort of stuff. And then they had some cool little announcements to make as well, didn't they, as part of their pre-30th celebration. So, yeah, do you want to go through what was announced, what was brought into the play? Because I know your ears picked up a few times during the announcements, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, but then I've spent a week going, I'm not sure. So it's interesting, right? So ICB, basically the reason they invited us to this event was A, to kick off the 30th anniversary.
Yes.
But B, to announce a load of new qualifications that will improve the standard of bookkeeping and the standards that can be achieved within the bookkeeping industry. Hence, I believe, being in the standard hotel.
Raise the standard. Oh, they've thought that through. Marketing at its best, isn't it? Marketing 101.
It went straight over your head, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. I was probably about 3 beers down by the time I realised, but
no. So they've announced a degree, like a master's degree in bookkeeping. They've announced a level 5 MVQ in bookkeeping, and they've announced a certified program where places of employment can be certified as ICB training providers, as it were, for their employees. Which all great, all going in the right direction. It's all there to help improve the quality and also to kind of lift the glass ceiling that I think a lot of people have as a view on bookkeeping. Like, bookkeeping is a limited point until you have to go into accounts, which isn't always true.
Yeah.
So ICB, as they have done for the last 30 years, pushing and championing the bookkeeper to go further and further, which is great. The question I've come away with is a master's degree in bookkeeping and a level 5 enough to change a young person's perception of the industry? Because ultimately that's what we want to do, right? So if I look at route to growth, I want to get people into the accounting and bookkeeping industry in apprenticeships. And when I put this to my team, the things that we found out at the event, I mean, obviously we can't make any decisions yet because all we got were headline announcements. We didn't get any depth in detail of what those qualification units are going to look like, what's involved, and stuff like that. And that's going to be pivotal in my view. Okay. But when I put it to my team, they kind of went, yeah, but if you were to put a job advert out for an apprentice for ICB, an apprentice for AAT, which one would get more application and which one will get what type of caliber of application? And I think it's the step in the right direction to have these new qualifications and show that actually you can take your career to a much higher level through bookkeeping, and that's fantastic. But I still think there's a huge challenge. I'm not sure how anyone's going to achieve it, to dispel the myth of and the view and the stereotype of a bookkeeper, not in the accounting and bookkeeping industry, because I think we're already doing that, and I think that's been going well for a very long time. Yeah. But in the general public's eye, like if you're a young person and you're going to speak to mum and dad and go, right, mum, dad, I've got 2 job offers. So, well done, Johnny. Well done, Jane. You've got 2 job offers. What's the difference?
Why are there 2 names?
Johnny or Jane, whoever you are.
I see. I'm so confused.
You can't assume it's a male or a female that's entering which industry. So if they sit there with mum and dad and go, right, I've got a job offer at this accounting firm and I've got a job offer at this accounting firm / bookkeeping firm, whatever we're calling it. One is an apprenticeship and I get my AAT qualifications. One is an apprenticeship and I get my ICB qualification. And then mum and dad go, right, hang on, what's the AAT and what's the ICB? Because if we assume ignorance here. Oh, that's my accounting one and that's a bookkeeping one. mum and dad are going to steer them to the accounting one, because the general public perception is that you could achieve more and go further in life as an accountant. Now, all of us on this call, before I get angry death threats, know that that's completely not true. And we all know that the only limitation is our own ability, is our own skill set and drive. I've had to have some very tough conversations with a level 4 AAT person recently to point out that I've got unqualified people that can run circles around them. They've only been in the role for 6 months. But this person's got a level 4 certificate in AAT, and it's like, yeah, but you can't retain the information past the exam. So you've just asked ChatGPT how to raise a credit note. Like, it doesn't matter how good your certificate is. Like, they're not going to get anywhere. But I'm now sat there going, we're all on board, but it's not us they've got to convince. It's the general public. We've got to educate them that there's an equal career path with either governing body's qualification. And I'm not sure how we're going to do that.
Yeah, it's really interesting take. And I don't disagree. I think you're right. That perception is clearly something that's going to be maybe it's unattainable, right? To get to that status, right? Maybe that's just something we've got to accept.
As an accounting firm or a bookkeeping firm or any firm in the industry, when we're struggling to recruit employees and apprenticeships, we need to do everything we can to put our firm in the best light.
100%. Yeah.
And I think I'm not convinced this is enough yet to get people to stop choosing the AAT apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And go for the ICB apprenticeship route.
Yeah, I can see that. And the way I'm seeing, because we've literally put an offer out to a new apprentice this week, right, or last week, should I say? And we were having, after the ICB event, we were having that same debate, and it's like, well, what are we going to do? Are we going to go AAT or ICB? Like, what's the right one for this particular candidate, right? And every candidate's going to be different, because every candidate you're going to take on what their strengths is versus what the needs are, and there's all sorts of manner of ways to get to the end result, right? What I would say is this is a great chance for you to, because like you said there is still that, perception, or, well, reality, let's call it reality, right? Like, if I went to go and recruit a new apprentice now, I can go to Kaplan or whatever training provider I want, and I can ask them for a list of candidates, and they will provide me a list of AAT candidates, because that's what they're geared up to train. I don't believe ones like that have ICB courses at this point in time. I might be wrong, might be out of the loop, but it doesn't. Last time I spoke to Kaplan, it was purely all they were talking about was the AAT route. In fact, they were also talking about, is this now the time to skip AAT, go straight into ICAW/ACCA, because of the new changes with this whole level 7 funding and everything else that goes with it, right? There's this ludicrous thing now where you can't get funding for your ICAW or ACCA past age of 21, I want to say, on top of my head. Again, I could have got the date wrong, but there's now a date that you if you don't apply before that date, you're not actually eligible for it, which is ludicrous, ridiculous. That's a whole nother conversation that we need to have at some point. But getting those candidates through the door at the moment feels like our only option is AAT, at least for if you're going to go with Kaplan or someone like that. I know there are some really good ones out there that who was at the event? There was a training provider who was at the event, schools, something like that. There was Ideal Schools, I want to say.
Ideal Schools, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And I'm sure they've got amazing candidates for ICB, but for me, being a lead-based practice in this scenario, trying to do best for that employee, I want to make sure that I'm looking after them as well, because I want them to go to Kaplan and be in that environment and listen to their peers and all that sort of stuff, right? That's part and parcel of the training process, right? So I'm kind of hand tied of what to offer them at the very beginning, but I do see this new approach as a right. Okay, when we're settled and we're kind of figuring out what their next steps are going to be and everything else, I now have a really, really good option of just going, ICB is the right route for them, or whatever their next step's going to be. For me, it puts a layer on top of AAT. That's how I'm seeing it, and that's where I'm kind of coming from as the benefit. And then with like the Tim's news that he's the first authorized employee, whatever the phrase is. But basically, he's got this opportunity to bring people in as an authorized. That sounds really attractive to me, and that's the bit that I was really excited about. I think the other bit that kind of I took away from that event was their whole approach of trying to go more into system advisory. Like they really want to push system advisory, which includes AI and elements like that comes with it. That's music to my ears. As acquiring this new bookkeeping firm and wanting to be that, getting into how we can help these clients and everything else. I think system advisory is such a huge part of the bookkeeping world now, right? Even more so than accountants and a traditional accounting firm. Like as a bookkeeper, being involved in system advisory it's a win-win, right? You can improve the client systems, which is going to improve your systems, which means you're going to be able to deliver that work in a more efficient manner, right? Like that's how I see it, and that's how I see going through. And I love the fact they talked about bringing that side of things into it as well, and trying to find ways in which they can bring that into it. And that I hope the rest of the industry wakes up and starts looking at that. Like, wouldn't it be lovely if the rest of the professional bodies saw that approach and went, that's the future of accountancy and business advisory and bookkeeping. Let's go and put more of that emphasis into our training going forward, because I do feel like it's under served at the moment. We as accountants, bookkeepers are being forced to provide that service, but we don't really get any training from it. It's kind of self-taught. It's YouTube videos. Like me and you have spent hours upon hours upon hours watching YouTube videos to get to our level, right? But wouldn't it be nice if there was an approved route to get people to a similar level going through from there?
Yeah, my only concern with that approved route is you and I know how quickly AI is changing and how powerful it's becoming, how like overnight.
Yeah.
No qualification matrix up with that.
No, but the soft skills of, right, you're going to have to start talking in prompts. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have to start setting your expectation. Security. Do you know what I mean? They're the bits that I hope is going to be like high on the agenda.
Stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the deliverables.
Yeah. And hopefully just giving them some examples to kickstart it. And it's the same with anything, right? You just need that little spark to go, I get it now. That's what, that's why using Claude to screen scrape is a good idea, or whatever it's going to be. I run it for our next topic, but you know what I mean. Like that's how it's going to be from there. So, yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm really excited, and I think, I feel like it's a force for good that they're trying to take the industry by the scruff of the neck in a certain direction.
Absolutely, like anything we can do to endorse and support it. Absolutely. I walked away thinking this is brilliant.
Yeah.
And the team, who are very pro apprenticeships, very pro bringing people into the industry, sharing their skill sets, did give me a bit of a reality dot of, and that was literally that sitting there with your parents and going, I've got two options.
Yeah.
It leads me to fearing that through public perception, this isn't going to change the world. Because I think parents are still going to go, well, surely you go for the AAT route. Because they're thinking, oh, accounting, that's bigger, that's better, that you can go further in accounting, you can earn more money in accounting. That sets you up for life, John or Jane. Go and do the accounting.
Yeah.
I just don't know how we educate that generation or the generation applying for the jobs.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think on two parts. I mean, first of all, the kids' names change, so parenting wise, I'm not sure they.
In today's diverse world, mate, that happens.
But no, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, it's all about what's right for the individual, right? Like, not everyone wants to be an accountant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, an auditor or a tax advisor. Some people want to have that, that bookkeeping route, and yeah, it just gives them options, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and you're right, but
you're doing bookkeeping at AAT level 2, level 3.
But to what standard?
But does that matter when it goes on the CV?
Yeah.
Like, if that young person and their parents are more concerned about what looks good on a CV for the rest of their careers.
Yeah.
Public perception is AAT.
Agreed. I mean,
and just to be clear, before I get, because the ICB crowd they are absolutely lovely but passionate to the point I will get death threats. I'm not saying it's wrong, what they're doing isn't good or anything like that. It's brilliant. I don't think it's us that we've got to convince. It is the general public, and I really just don't know how we do that.
No, I think you put it in a coherent manner that people will see that, and I think that's the impression you're giving. I don't know. I just being through that moment at the moment where I'm kind of like we're debating it and kind of going through and everything else, and I'm a pro AAT, right? I've been on their webcast and all that, so I still have my letters, right? I think Lucy Cohen's doing an amazing job. Like, she's absolutely like taking that thing, and if I look at it, I think ICB and AAT are both showing how professional bodies can adapt in these times, right? Like, both of them are changing for good, and they're both going forward. I just feel like there's going to be certain candidates that AAT is a must-have for them, and certain candidates where ICB is going to be. The fact both of them are going in their own direction is only a good thing. That's how I'm kind of walking away. I get your point that it's going to be hard to change that perception, but that's on us, right? That's our job to do that. That's us to decide. That's why we're firm owners. Like, we've got to decide what's the right training platform and the right qualification for our staff. And at least now, there seems to be a level playing field, and depending on what route you're going to go. Once they're past that route, I've got even more controversial topics and conversations and everything else to go there, but that's for another day. Let's quickly jump in with the community. First of all, on Instagram. Hello, Instagram. How are you all doing? Ariona's there saying, good morning, guys. Good morning to you too, Ariona. I hope you are doing well. Mahul says, it was great, and I felt honored to be invited by ICB. Yeah, and some great photos and things that you brought to the table, Mahul. So great. I know Bailey was great. Was grateful to see you as well. For anyone who doesn't know, Bailey is the little teddy bear that made his little journey there. Outshone me, I'd like to say. You know what I mean? Like, it was almost like I even bought a brand new ICB jacket for the occasion. But no, everyone was all anyone would talk about was Bailey the bear. To go through from there. Kirsty St. John says, great ICB event celebrating 30 years, announcing new things. It certainly was. Hello, okay, maybe I should skip that one. Kirsty St. John said, congrats TCS for being first recognized employer. Definitely. Kirsty St. John says, ideal schools. Thank you for keeping us on the ball. And Mahul says, ICB approved employer. And Kirsty says, oh, talking loose, did you see her tax cap article? Very much so, yeah. And absolutely on the ball, wasn't it? Mahul says Bailey was everywhere. Certainly was. Right. Screen scraping follow-up, Mr. Yongori. What we found, what's happened? Talk about it.
I don't know about you, but my message box on LinkedIn has been quite busy for the last week. I've had a lot of people, and including at the ICB event, it was a topic of discussion, not just with ICB members, but actually with software vendors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I know Richard and Tom at Accounting Web are now looking into this as well. So hopefully, I mean, those guys have got contacts in places you and I can only dream of. So I'm hoping they can get some answers and some insight on this in a way that we can't. But yeah, I've had a lot of people messaging me saying, I know you're not naming names, but is it X? And it's like, I'm not naming names. But I'll tell you what to do. Because I started questioning myself after a while. So, I've seen some responses from some software providers that are clearly written by solicitors.
I mean, when so said that, I can believe it.
So, and this is why we're being very careful, because there's only so many cease and desists we can get in a year. And, we're trying to go cease and desist free this year, whilst also bringing you all the news that you should know and hear. But yeah, basically, it left me questioning it. So I did a lot of deep research in Claude, over the weekend. And everything we told you last week about what is and isn't available API-wise is correct and true. And I've got a whole lovely PDF report if anyone wants a copy of that sent over. But ultimately, the prompt is that if you put a prompt into Claude or ChatGPT saying, research company ABC, whatever.
Yep.
Confirm that what it's telling you, what it's telling me it can do on the website is possible via the HMRC APIs.
Yeah.
It will tell you whether it's possible or not. And every software I've put through there that I believe is screen scraping, Claude has come back saying, some of this is possible, X, Y, which is the stuff I knew was possible. The rest isn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're still not naming names. What we do know is the bulletin is out. The risk to our businesses is absolutely huge because whilst you don't need agent authorization in place to file an SA100, a corp tax return, or a PAYE, payroll. You need agent login details to do those. So and that's what they're blocking. HMRC are going to block your agent login details, which means not only can you not speak to them about this client, you can't file anything for this for any of your clients whilst these details are locked. And my understanding from the bulletin is they're not just going to come after, oh, Johann, your login details got used for this. They're going to go, On Point Accounting, your login details have got used for this. Every team member's login details are now locked down.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, I've spoken to people that have been advocates of some of these softwares in the past, and even they're dropping it. Like, they're dropping these softwares because they've realized there's a problem. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that. Actually, I think it's one of the first articles you and I have done, or one of the first conversation points. Article's a strong word. One of the first conversation points you and I have had where a week on, I'm still getting follow-up questions in my inboxes and emails.
Yeah.
And like people are sharing with me that like responses from softwares and stuff like that. It's interesting.
Yeah, and like I said, it was a big topic conversation at ICB, right, at the event. It was a conversation had by many. So yeah, we'll keep you up to date if there's any more follow-ups or anything else. But
if I disappear,
I think what we think from, and this is for every software vendor out there, right? Like, we just need clarity. We just need to know, like, 100%, is this going to be okay? Is it not? What HMRC should do is go down the route the banks did and have a proper open banking standard, right? Like that's why open banking came into play, is because screen scraping can be used in various ways that that's not secure and not safe and everything else. That's the whole point, right? So I do believe that if HMRC could just come up with a standard to say, right, this is the approved methods, these are the ones who are going through the approved methods, then I think everyone will
deliver APIs for every tax point in the same way they've delivered an API for MTD, VAT, and income tax. Like,
but I can't see him retrospectively going back. Can you? That's where the problem comes.
But the irony is, and I was sat chuckling to myself because we get this quite a lot in the Engager support box, right? Is an accounting firm goes, oh, what level of encryption do you use, and where do you store your data? It's like, we're very good at asking, like, are we GDP compliant, and have we got a high enough level of encryption, and are we cybersecurity tested, and are we pen tested, which is penetration tested, which basically is some random, like, you employ somebody or you contract somebody to try and break into your software. But at no point do we normally sit there and go, is what this software company is delivering as a service actually within the rules of the data that they're processing? No one asks me, are you using HMRC's APIs within their guidelines? Yes, we are. Like, they're more fixated on, are you GDPR compliant? No, not really. Didn't see the point. Of course we bloody are. Like, You just think maybe we're all a bit fixated on the wrong things at times.
100%. And this is where like medium firms have and large firms have real advantages, right? Because they have whole teams dedicated to, and sometimes that can be
ask the questions.
Yeah, and sometimes that can be frustrating for the people working there, right? Because they'll find this nice shiny piece of kit and they'll be like, "That would be ideal. That's the exact pain point that I'm looking for." And they have to go through this rigmarole that I've heard can take like 6 months in some cases until it's like approved software or whatever it's going to go through, and like this rigorous testing and everything else. And we're having the same conversation on the ICAW's small practice committee the other day, and it was like those medium firms have got all that data and everything else. Can they not share that with like us smaller, people down the food chain?
They're probably still using the same software.
Yeah.
Because their IT department hasn't ever thought to ask, is what you're doing within the guidelines and rules set out by HMRC for the use of their data?
Yeah, but hopefully this new bulletin will kickstart that, right? Like that's what the design of that is going to be. Like, hey, if me and you've picked up on it, I'm sure much more clever people than us have picked up on it and gone for it. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm hoping that that's part of the conversation. But what I'm saying is, wouldn't it be nice if that could be a shared list? Or, I did, in an ideal world, if I could have, unlimited resources, it's your professional bodies that would turn around and go, here's your approved list. These are the ones we've done the testing for. Go, use these.
Bodies are profiteering and they will only put you on that list, whether you're right or wrong, if you pay for the privilege as a software vendor to be on
that. That's what I'm saying. If it was money, no issue.
I believe one of the softwares we're talking about is on an approved list.
Yeah, well, there we are then, right? But getting our professional bodies, government body, or whoever to kind of go in and create that list is probably never going to happen because there's funding involved, cash involved, resource involved, and everything else. But could there be a way that those bigger firms who've already done those testing can start sharing that data some way and having that as a like, okay, can't never be an approved list, but here's a list of tested solutions out there, and their findings and not findings. I just feel like something needs to get, because as small practice owners, we don't have the resources to go and do this each and every time. Yes, we can use prompts and everything like you're saying there, and it's a nice, quick, and easy win, but that's still taking X amount of time out of a day to go and do that, right?
And there's so many reliance that Claude or ChatGPT's right in what they're saying.
Oh, 100%. Exactly. Yeah. Because that they don't know for sure, right? And we can't, by the sounds of it, we can't trust every software out there to know, because maybe they don't even know themselves at one point. Like they're just a team members, or they've heard a pain point, they've thought of a solution, they've gone through and done it, and until this paper came out, there was no right or like, it wasn't clarified if it was right or wrong, right? It was just a gray area. Now it's not a gray area. Now this is where, like you said, the risk is real. Now we need to figure out like who's doing what and everything else. And I don't think there's an easy answer, and I don't think as small practice owners we have the resources to really find the definitive answer, and I think we need to lean on others to do it. So we shall see. We shall see. Speaking of agents, because you just spoke about an agent, what about Adfin's new customer agent? They announced part of their slew of updates. Tell us more, Johan.
Yeah, so on the 3rd of June, so 5 days ago, they've formally pushed out and announced 3 new updates.
Mm-hmm.
None of which I've had a chance to play with yet, but I'm hoping this week I'm going to have plenty of time. Probably on Friday when I'm on the train down to an event with Admin back.
Show off with your internet on a train.
So they've got 3 main updates. One is optimized reminders for each customer. So They're going to be enhanced. Brilliant. The other one is something they announced on social media a while ago, and it's now live, and that's the automatically applying late payment fees. Now, anyone that's got a decent letter of engagement, it will have in your letter of engagement that you are allowed to charge late fees. Yeah. And you'll have a policy within your letter of engagement and terms and conditions about late payments.
Yep.
Has anyone ever enforced it?
I know, right?
It's too much hassle.
Yeah.
Adfin lets you do it automatically now, so I'm looking forward to getting that set up. I might even try and set that up on the train down to London this morning. And the big one is the introducing customer agents. So basically, it lets you manage how your payments are collected for different groups of customers. Each agent brings together a set of rules to send reminders, how to communicate with customers with which payment options to offer, and what actions to take to help you get paid faster. Basically, you can group your clients into different types. So maybe you've got a self-assessment annual payment type client group. You've got your monthly clients. You've got clients that are on direct debit, clients that are manual payers. Maybe you've got VIP clients where you want to be very velvet glove, and less VIP clients where you need to be more hammer on their fingers approach to get them to pay you. This customer agent will let you do that. So yeah, I mean, Adfin are just really taking it up to the whole next level, aren't they, for getting people paid quicker and easier.
They certainly are. They certainly are. And especially in times at the moment where... Oh, go for it.
There's another update. It's not on the changelog, but this got a community broadcast across my whole firm on Friday when I saw it.
Oh.
And my whole team was suddenly excited. So if you're an accounting or bookkeeping firm and you're part of the Adfin ABC Club, as they call it, which is basically any accounting and bookkeeping firm can be part of that. If you refer a customer to them, historically, it helps reduce your rates.
Yes.
And the person that refers them, so every team member gets their own referral link. The person that refers them gets £100 in Amazon vouchers as a thank you, and the customer, the client, gets £100 of Amazon vouchers as well.
Mm-hmm.
They just doubled that on Friday. So now a team member gets £200 in Amazon vouchers. So one of my team members literally turned around and said, so hang on, it's June now. If I can refer 6 people between now and Christmas, that could pay for Christmas.
Yeah.
So that is the thinking we like, people. So all of a sudden, links are going out everywhere.
That's exactly what you want, isn't it? That's exactly what you want. And on the news
that go cardless, where we've got issues in QuickBooks at the moment,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah. I mean, that's still an ongoing issue that I don't think people are fully aware of at the moment. So if you're using QuickBooks and Go Cardless Connection at the moment, it is collecting your money. Fine, great. But it's not telling QuickBooks it's collecting the money. And that's kind of causing some major issues of, like you said, late payments, knowing where your debtors are and everything else. And I've had a couple of people reach out and say it's not collecting their money as well. So definitely keep an eye on your Go Cardless connection with QuickBooks, because
it's a 2-step process, isn't it? Really, 1, move to 0. 2, get admin.
I agree wholeheartedly with the second one, but even as dire straits as we are at the moment, I don't think we really want to be encouraging people to move there. And also, other news with Adfin, Arden's, so they're one of their biggest competitor. Stock has absolutely plummeted at the moment, so I think times are changing. Which we like to see. What's my next topic? I'm on the wrong page. Oscar AI for Bright Pay. We're going to be really quick on this, but I actually quite like this implementation of AI here. So Oscar AI for Bright Pay is the opportunity to try and streamline your bringing an employee on. So it's going to use AI to kind of have that opportunity to chase that employee, to ask for information, to quantify and qualify the information they're getting when you bring a new employee on. Positive change, positive use. One of their first implementations of AI in their product, I can tell, in the Bright group, that is. So definitely showing what things to come for them, how they're taking it going forward. So yeah, I mean, payroll is one of those where we continually bash for saying that we don't have any innovation in the industry at the moment. Maybe this is the start of them starting to take it a little bit more seriously. What do you
think? Yeah, the only bit that wasn't clear in all the releases was, is this a paid for add-on or not? Or is this included? So are we increasing the value of the current proposition, or are we paying to add it on? Now, depending on the price point, I can see value in it anyway, because I'm paying for it, because getting new employees on is a right headache.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it really AI though? We're all very good at calling things AI when it's not. So for example, actually, is this just a new starter form that the client, the employee fills out?
Yeah.
And that auto populates the employee's record in Bright. That's just form filling and data prep. That's not AI.
Yeah.
Like, is it more of a, is it less of a form, more of a conversational bot that goes, oh, and you can go, oh, I don't know where to find that bit of information. And you can go, well, here's some places you can go look for it and find it. Then okay, there's some AI in there. But yeah, like let's be, regardless of who's developed it and whether it is or isn't AI, whether it is or isn't paid for, it's just nice to see the payroll software industry having some innovation.
100%. And such a big pain point, right? Is getting that employee.
We've been pushing for that for so long.
Yeah. I mean, it almost feels madness that for me, it's still a nice to have to be able to do self, onboarding of an employee. Like the idea to send out a link and, excuse me, Mr. New Employee or Mrs. New Employee, here's a link, please fill out accordingly and we'll be able to pay you. Everyone wants to be paid, right? And that seems to be a nice to have. And that is, as we've always keep saying, like there's too much pressure on the payroll industry at the moment for software. And they're struggling to innovate because they're just chasing the tails with compliance all the time. So you're right. Seeing a big pain point like this and have an opportunity, I'm well up for, and hopefully it's a sign of things to come. What we got? We've just got enough time for our last couple of topics. Before that, let's see what the community's saying. Juliet McKenna says, "Morning. Apologies, I'm very late on parade today." Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. We just keep hold of the late marks and we just put them in the back end. We've only had to ban 3 people. That's all it's been so far. So it's absolutely fine, Juliet. You're absolutely fine. Steph says it used to be £100 for 1,000 payments processed. Now it's 200 for 10,000 of payments are processed. Yeah, it's fair, but I think if you're not going to be pushing someone who's going to be looking to pay £10,000 or more, probably not, the right fit maybe for Adfin. You've got to weigh that up for them, haven't you?
It helps make sure the team members are pushing the right clients, as you say, towards them. Like, if you're only doing 1 payment a day or a week or something, then actually, do you need all the hassle of Adfin? Whereas actually, Adfin want us to be promoting this to the bigger clients that we've got who are more heavy payment processing. So,
and that's why they've got that incentive, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Awesome. Final topic. It's Shiny Apple day to day. We've got WWDC. In fact, we've got 2 big events. Let's just quickly go over the other event. It's our final ever QuickBooks Labs. Ironically, Sage Savvy comes up behind me. Our final ever QuickBooks Labs event. So if you can join us to this afternoon, 5 o'clock, I want to say it is, that we're going to be going through there. I have already built or put together a little montage of our best bits over the past, 5 years, 6 years, something along those lines, something along those lines anyway. So please do come along. And we're just gonna have a bit of a thing. Got a few surprise guests lined up, so I'm looking forward to kind of seeing them there. So come and see us at 5 o'clock, and then straight after that, WWDC. I mean, it's one of our favorite events of the year, right? And I'll always come back to the event where we were both in Edinburgh and we got bamboozled by what they announced because not all of it came to fruition, right? But typically, normally they do come to fruition. What are you most excited about from WWDC? Which is, just for anyone who's not aware, it's the Apple event that talks about software, not hardware. So don't expect, maybe there'll be some surprises, maybe like an Apple TV or something, them sort of thing. But typically, this is about what to expect from the software come September. Go for it, Jan.
So, first of all, I'm lucky that I'm on a developer beta. So I get access to all of this tonight. So I don't have to wait. So I've got all my devices. They're all going in the bag because I'm down to London today. So they're going with me. I can't wait. I've seen all the headline stuff. That's all cool. Like Siri getting more powerful, Siri linking to potentially Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude. Very cool.
Yeah.
The bit that the bits I really want to see though is I want Safari to get a huge update so it can handle Claude Claude plugin, ChatGPT plugin, etc., like Chrome can. I want to see Mail and Calendar get a huge feature update and like just bring them in parity with other inboxes now and stuff. Like we were saying off air, one of my favorite things from the release last year that I look at every single day and go, thank God for that, is the call screening. So
yeah,
what else are they going to bring in for the phone app, messaging and stuff? Just to, I always enjoy those little bits more, those proper quality of life, day-to-day stuff, because that stuff happens and gets used without realizing. Whereas anything, all the big stuff, that takes habits, routines changing, getting into the motion and remembering to use certain functions and stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, that's I'm just excited for today. This is the annual update of software that I always look forward to. So all the devices are coming with me. They're all fully charged. They're ready to go, and they will be getting updated as soon as it goes live, which is normally 7, 8 o'clock tonight. So it might be a late night in the hotel room,
but worth it though, right? Worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really excited for this one. I think the idea that finally Siri starts doing something that is going to be worthwhile is definitely up my street. I can't wait to see kind of what they can actually do and actually deliver on it this time. I think they've learned from last time not to overpromise, sorry, and underdeliver. But I'm hopeful that Final Cut Pro gets a bit of an update as well, because we finally got to this point where it's now subscription based. So Final Cut Pro, for anyone who doesn't know, is the editing software you can use to edit videos. So, for me personally, that's always a big kind of point to look at. But now we've moved on to a subscription model where technically they've got budget now. Technically, they've got opportunities and reasons to improve it. I'm hopeful that means that we get this more collaborative feature that we've kind of been yearning for. The idea that, two people can work on a video at the same time using the cloud somehow, and going into all that sort of aspects. Like, I'm really, really, really hopeful and fingers crossed that they'll be able to bring that to the table. But hey, we'll have to wait and see what's coming up. Yeah, it's going to be good fun indeed. And yeah, they never really disappoint, do they? Jan, what have you got for this week then? Anything exciting coming up?
I am up and down the country a number of times. So today I'm going down to Buckinghamshire, so King's Cross and then Tube out. Speaking at this business coaches event for acquisitions and stuff tomorrow and Wednesday. Home Wednesday night. Day full of calls and meetings on Thursday in Edinburgh, and then Friday, crack of dawn, I'm down to London again for a day with the Adfin guys at the Queen's Tennis event, and then back late Friday night, well, Saturday morning by the time I get home. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that event on Friday. I'm looking forward to the trip today, but yeah, the event on Friday is going to be good.
Yeah, no, that'd be wicked. That'd be awesome. I've got what have I got? Wednesday is a trip to Sheffield to do a it's not a networking event. It's we've got a stand, and we're going to be kind of talking to prospective new clients, all that sort of stuff, and kind of going through all that sort of stuff. So that'd be cool. And then I don't know if we've been able to actually finalize dates and times, everything, but we're trying to bring back the cool locations, cool friends concept with Ask the Accountant, and trying to figure that out. So do watch the space for that, because if we can pull this off, there's an opportunity for us to go and see some cool locations of actual practices and how they're like changing things and all that sort of stuff coming our way. So looking forward to see if we can get that off the rain. And then it's just purely work, more work at the moment, trying to get everything all nice and tidy and clean and everything else that goes with it. So that's it. That is our episode number 188. And come join us this time next week for another exciting episode of Ask the Accountant. Any final words from you, Jan?
No, just keep an eye out for screen sharing info. I tend to put a little update every now and then in my daily vlogs. Did a what's in my bag vlog on Sunday, so that's on YouTube. If anyone wants to have a look at that, it was literally me and my Osmo Pocket 3, no editing, nothing. So the camera goes out and I have to convince it to come back in shot every now and then. But let me know if that was helpful, if that was good or not. Quite enjoying doing my daily vlogs. Yeah.
So maybe you need to get the Insta Luna, the new Insta.
No, but I am tempted by the DJI Pocket 4 Pro. The bit that's going to swing it on that one, I think, for me would be, can it handle cooling better? Because like I did, like to yesterday's video of 25 minutes of filming, it was rather hot to the touch by the end. And when I was in Marbella and I did some filming on my balcony, the camera was in the sun and within minutes it cut off. So I'm curious about the cooling on the Pro and how it can handle that.
Massive fan on it.
Yeah. Is it going to have vapor chambers in it or something to help?
Yeah. Sounds good. Well, everyone, thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you this time next week for another exciting episode of Ask the Accountant. It's a bye from me.
And a goodbye from me.